The wait for XRP to move has been too long, and a ton of people has been shaken out of this particular asset, and you know this is true. When you look at XRP Ether, this is what you see. You're about to break higher from a long-term trend. That's a corrective trend since 2018 top. Now, as you break higher, your first target is like 10x. Yes, you do have short-term targets, which we've been talking about, like this one, right? We're focusing on this. Okay, you're going to break through. RSI is here. That's a short-term pattern, and then short-term pattern breaks through that. Now you're also breaking through your medium-term target. Medium term is breaking the pattern. Now this is the macro one. So short broken to the upside, medium breaking to the upside. Now that's the next one is macro. The RSI is already breaking here in the macro, which suggests, if it's me, I would say, okay, we are gonna go higher. And how high? Against Ether 10x. Don't just say it's 10x for XRP USD, it's against Ether. Because when the market moves, Ether will also move. To put that into perspective, look at this. Ether has like 120 billion of market cap. XRP is 15. If you put that into perspective, it's like 8 to 9x, right? So that is being catch up here, right? The price is going to regain. The market cap is going to coming soon, match with Ether's cap or go above that at one point. If you are prepared for this, you are not listening to the naysayers, because it's not only against Ether. This is XRP BTC on a daily. You're getting this bullish momentum. Look at the RSI. On a daily chart, it's actually going to the overbought territory. So now you need that be happening on the 3-day, weekly, and that's it. You're actually running higher. Now, against USD, you are looking for different indicators. Yes, this is your long-term support range, but the bearish stuff is this one. You're breaking down. Now, just don't panic at that moment, because we are going to detail through this. Money is going to move out of these, because we were talking about this, saying, okay, next support is here, and we already reached that level of support. Say Bitcoin is here. We talked about that before. Ether is here. We talked about that before, right? And these charts, we are now reaching those support. What does that mean? Money is moving out of these big coins. We can see that money is entering into some of the coins, and we clearly understand XRP is one of them. Why? And how this is going to turn out, we are going to detail, and that's coming soon. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, if I look at the altcoin market and say it's going to do great numbers, you're also going to look at XRP and say, okay, that's going to do huge. Now, why it's going to do huge? I've explained that in detail inside this particular video, right? Why I bought that one, why I hold that one. And then, if you're looking for the price targets, this will probably give you an idea based on math and historical price points, taking almost all the data points from the chart, explaining why this is going higher. Now, when you actually look at Ether and say, okay, we dropped to this macro support where we even came lower than the last all-time highs, money is moving out of this particular asset, right? You understand that. And where the money is going, you're actually looking at this. Literally right now, you can observe like, okay, XRP is not dropping that hard compared to a lot of different assets. Say Ether is down 9% in last 24 hours, whereas XRP, it's 3.38. So inside the altcoin market, now you have an area where, okay, Bitcoin is dropping heavy, money is moving out of Bitcoin. Now you can literally say like, okay, yeah, money is being moved, fee is being reduced, fine, but 57 million moving out is not a small step. When they are moving these at this range, either you are saying, okay, they are buying the bottom, or you are saying, okay, it's moving into real assets with fundamentals. That's where this tweet from CZ come into play. Lesson learned. What? In the bull market, look at the fundamentals. In a bear market, look at the fundamentals. Now, we talked about this for a very long time, but also I would like to add this stuff. This, I think, is really important. In a bull market, look at the marketing profile of different companies, because we have seen some of the meme coins flying way higher than the fundamental coins, right? We put 1,000 hours of research, come up with some of the assets which we think is going to succeed because of these reasons, and some of the youngsters, 15 years of age, 17 years of age, come and choose some meme coins and they make ton of money, and we are like, what the hell was that, right? Now, that's one of these reasons, marketing. If you look at the marketing profile and then the fundamentals, in next wave 2, you are gonna get the edge to make a ton of money. But don't just jump in because of fundamentals. You also have to look at when this fundamental is gonna play out. For example, XRP, XLM, XDC, these payment assets are gonna go into the impactful near future ISO 20022. It's coming in November this year. Now we are closing that range where interoperability has to be there, and then the CBDCs are being piloted. So the use case and the fundamentals is like not 10 years after now. It's right now. It's happening as we speak. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's happening, right? Then you are looking at big companies entering NFTs. So yesterday I was retweeting one of the aspects of Lotus Cars, where they were really talking about they're entering NFTs. What does that actually mean? If such a company is entering into the NFT space, that means you are going to actually see a lot of people, big companies entering into this area. When these guys enter with a big lot of money, they won't just go for any company. They will choose from the most reputable company, the most appropriate company, and the best technology. Now, okay, this is one of the first criteria which you are looking at. What's the next? Regulatory side. Yes, you are looking at SEC in US, but when you come out of US, if you are in Europe, if you are in Asia, there is no issue in doing this. The people are going to come build on top of this, and anyone who's looking at the SEC case and being monitoring that for at least last 6 months, they're like, okay, we get the point. SEC is gonna get crushed. Fine. So as these guys enter into this narrative, you now actually understand, okay, fundamentals is so strong for this particular asset. And right now, when you break out of this, a lot of people are going to actually take the hit and move out. But when you move higher like this is going to get attention. A lot of people still trade against BTC, against Ether. The volume is still there. Now, you're observing this and saying, okay, fine. Some of it is actually coming in to XRP. But don't just neglect other payment assets like XLM, XDC and others, because they are also at a long-term support levels. We were actually running an Ask for TA session here, and we've been going through all the different assets to look at which asset is showing negative effects, which of them are at a critical level of support like this, so that they are preparing for the next run up, right? The medium-term pattern, the macro support levels, RSI at different levels, and you're like, okay, I understand. Most likely, the risk to reward ratio on this particular asset is going to be huge, right? That's why we actually do this on a regular basis, so that you know which assets have that ability to make you more money at a time when some of the assets are going to go down, right? So now, looking at the chart, say this is the Ether chart on a weekly. This one, you actually look at the RSI and you're like, okay, RSI is so much extended to the downside. So you are in the oversold region, so you should actually hold this region. Fine. If Ether moving into the new layer, say proof of stake, if the migration has issues, you're going to break through this to the downside. Why? On a macro, this is a rising wedge. Rising wedges are usually bearish. If you don't bounce from here, you're not going anywhere. If you bounce, yes, still inside this pattern, you can still be in this bearish pattern going towards around $8,000, $10,000. If you don't bounce, that's it. You're going all the way back down. Now, when it happens, I don't think Bitcoin is going all the way down. because of this long support trend line, I do think it's going to bounce. And when it bounces, the next resistance is way higher. But I really don't think we are going to hit that level of resistance in this wave. You may most likely go higher, 100, 125k if you are bouncing from this level, because that happens to be below the moving average, 200-day moving average right now. And most of the time, when you dip below this moving average, you happen to get supported, and this trend line support becomes one of the reasons. Right now, you're at that point where you're literally waiting for this daily and weekly and monthly close coming soon, and you're like, okay, tomorrow you're going to get the daily close and weekly close. If you get a bounce, a wick back to the upside, 19, 20, 22, that's huge. Now, if it's happening in the next week, it's the same. You are bouncing, you're coming down, you're bouncing from that support level. If you are in this market right now feeling all the pain, look at this in XRP and say, okay, yeah, you came back. Only negative stuff you're observing technically was this. You had a bounce from here, another bounce from here. You got a bounce, but the entire market, Terra Luna, Celsius, 3AC, all of them came and pushed you lower with that panic. But one thing you have to look at is where the 200-day moving average is and where the price is. If the fundamentals were failing, okay, get out. But right now you're at a position where XRP Ledger is being used for a lot of different use cases. We literally explained through most of them inside this video, right? And that's why I still hold that asset, and this is the single biggest asset I have. All the reasons why I hold that particular asset is inside this. And all the reasons what targets I'm looking at in my long run is this. Inside that room, you have different assets, right? You're on the payment assets, XRP, XLM, XDC, Quant. You have a lot of them. Even YRX token is a payment token, focusing on and just getting adoption, just getting started. If you're looking for different stuff, you have that room to look at. But it's not only payments which is going to get room to run. You'll have smart contract platform, because when Ether is failing, you are going to look at Cardano, you're going to look at Polkadot, you're going to look at AVAX, and a lot of these platforms are getting developer attention, which means, automatically the network effect comes into play and the market will move higher. So when we see Bitcoin and Ether slowing down like this, you are literally watching the money moving out, and we are looking to see where the money is going to enter. Because if you're in that asset, that's a great news for you. If you're on the sidelines waiting to enter, you should be looking at where the money is moving. Because if you follow money, you're most likely going to make money. Now, inside this various market cycles, you have actually seen money moving out and money entering in to different asset sectors within crypto market. You see micro, you see small cap, you see medium and large cap. And sometimes you're seeing market is moving up, and not every side of this is moving up. Fine. Some of them do 100x, some of them do just 10x. And then you are looking for like, okay, which of these coins are going to give you the best risk reward ratio, because you're not going to take 100% risk. If you're so young, if you're just going with $1,000, maybe you can do that. But if you are not that young, you're putting a significant amount of money, you are trying to balance between risk and reward. If you happen to see a 40x inside the altcoin market till now, and it's coming back to a support, most likely the next one is going to be a big one. You look at the RSI, you are at this level where a ton of buys will be coming in. This is a weekly chart, and you are at a historical level of support. And the difference between what we have just seen in the Ether chart, in the Bitcoin chart, you can notice this. Yes, the RSI is oversold. Okay, we'll just go there. So live, you are looking at that. You are looking at the Ether chart. You are breaking below the 200-day moving average on a weekly, and the 200-day moving average happened to be close to 1,200. Now, yes, your RSI is getting extended, but you're going below the 200-day moving average. If you don't get the bounce here, that's a macro bear. Fine. Now, you may have reasons on the other side, a fundamental side of this, right? You're looking to move and the migration is having issues, proof of work to proof of stake. You're going to kill a lot of miners. Fine. Then when you're entering into proof of stake, now you need to migrate all the nodes. Woo, that's going to be painful if you are losing some of the nodes, some of the blocks, some of the data or value. You can't even imagine how painful it's for you, the institutions, if that is happening, right? Now we come to the Bitcoin. You're like, okay, Bitcoin is dropping below the 200-day moving average. And right now, your entire altcoin market is at a position where the 200-day moving average is supporting the price along with your support trend line. Now that support trend line get extended all the way from this bottom of 2013. So that's like 9 years long support trend line, and then the 200-day moving average at a time when the RSI is below 25. Right, you are just at that point where you're like, okay, historically speaking, if you buy when the RSI is close to 30 or below that, you have a long room to make money. Say here I was just 35. So if you're close to that and buying, you used to make money. Now, one of the things which a lot of people miss here is the time factor. Say for example, you have spent the RSI here at the bottom for 210 days. But as you were going up to reach that top, it just took 42 days. This is altcoin. That's how things happen here. We are looking for the break in the RSI going all the way lower. We are looking at the consolidation factor. You consolidate it till here. The below 50 is kind of bearish. So 800 days to the downside. And then in just 266 days, you reached the massive top in the RSI, indicating, okay, you're going to slow down. Okay, fine, you slowed down there. So if you are following this, right now you are looking at, okay, how long it's been since you are actually dropping. And you are reaching this point where you are like 400 days to the downside. Now, one of the key factors there would be looking at this. After the first run up into the overbought territory, how long you actually dropped. So if you take that from the extended bottom here, it has been 273 days in the last market cycle. And if you look at this sell-off, this is really, at least I feel this is really easy to observe and monitor this huge sell-off from your normal correction consolidation with some of the bad news coming in, which definitely looks like, okay, you are here and you may actually get a V-shaped recovery going back in the altcoin market. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying, okay, in the altcoin market right now, it's heavily reliant on Ether. It's like 118 billion, where XRP is just 14-15 billion dollars. That means when altcoin is moving and Ether is still slow, you are looking for this to happen. You are waiting for this to happen. I'm mentally prepared. I know my targets and my exits, where I'm going to exit, because I'm not just going to sit there saying, okay, if XRP hits $20, I'm going to take that. No. You have different resistance level as you go higher. We have trades, we have investments, right? Your investments, you would be like, okay, I have a target close to 2.2, I have a target close to 3, right? You'll have different targets for your trading patterns. Then your long-term bag, you'll be like, okay, 3%, 5% at this price. You do that and be prepared mentally. Now, this took 4-5 years for those who were here from 2017-2018 cycle. If you are a lucky guy who entered in this crash or the March 2020 crash, you happen to be really lucky because you entered here. We happen to be riding this from all the way here, 2017, 2018, coming all the way back down. That's so painful. So right now, you standing here at this area and saying, okay, this is so much of a pain, Dan. I'm like, yes, it is painful. But you can't compare it with these guys who have been through that 2017 upside and coming all the way back down, that kind of scenario. But what you are going to be faithful for is going to be the next run up. And when you do that, it's most likely utility driven, because the market right now understand which asset has utility and which is just normal useless coin. It's still searching for a problem to solve, or it still is not coming out with a real project, meaning they are not coming out with the final product. You have some of these small, medium cap assets which have product outside there in the market, which you can go into your app store, your Google Play Store, and download and use right now. And people are using it across the world. So that's fundamentals. And the price of that particular asset which I'm talking about is 95% down. And the upside is actually massive in those because it's already small cap and the room to the upside is huge. The price has dropped 94%. The fundamentals looks great, and the news, adoption, current affairs, all of them are following through. And you're just also looking at the marketing side of this and you're like, okay, I have 3-4 different assets which are going to perform well, but you never will be able to match the fundamentals of XRP with these assets. Now, you do have competitors. You will say, okay, XLM is there, it's retail oriented. XRP is wholesale oriented. XRP is going to be on the wholesale CBDC sector, and XLM can be there on the retail CBDC. But even these CBDCs to interoperable, to be contacting each other, once the ISO 20022 is going on, you need to be on that layer of IntelliJ protocol, which I believe is going to happen soon. And once that happens, most likely the price is going to be much, much higher than where we are. And a lot of people would be saying, I should have bought back then. Now, if your average is way below the current price, it's just more time, more patience. It's a game of patience, right? Guys, if you are receiving value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that till now. And if you want to get these kind of updates for a lot of different charts, a lot of different assets, and to maintain that narrative inside your head that this particular asset is here, most likely it's going to do this, and you're going to clearly watch all of this. And if you want to look at these, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.